on. We're live on YouTube. I believe so. You never know, it's 10 p.m. Okay. Yes. Good. So it should show up right now. Let's see. Okay. Videos. Yep, we are live. Woohoo! All right. So why don't we start with an official introduction?
I don't see where it is on YouTube.
On my YouTube. If anything, go to videos.
I tried that.
It's showing up for me. Okay. Sometimes it takes it a while to actually display. Yeah, like I don't know, it's loading or something. So, do you see it now?
No, let's see.
Mine says it's live now.
Is there a specific link, like, directly to
I think I can send you the specific link. Yeah, okay. All right, got it. Yeah, it's gonna send you the link now. Okay. You can still hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. There we go. That's the one that I'm seeing. Those are my curtains.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah,
we are live. Awesome. Yay. Okay. All right, why don't we do a little introduction? Are you guys ready?
You are listening to Musician Today's weekly podcast with Vira Burmenko. Tune in for your insight into a professional musician's life and awesome new music.
Hello, and welcome everybody. Today I have a very, very special podcast and I have an interview with the most amazing person in the business of violin. And before I announce who it is, I just want to say that she's one of the most talked about and sought after musical ambassadors to Generation Z. She's a violinist and she has brilliant technique. And as a classical musician, her passion for mentoring the youth of today to connect with audiences is so exciting and it's innovative. She's creative. She's created amazing programs for students to study with her. Then just to tell you a bit more, she's a silver medalist at the IMA Hawk competition. Critics have acclaimed her for her dazzling technique, excellent musicianship, huge tone, poise and professional grace, and bold personality, unafraid to experiment. She has appeared as a soloist with various orchestras worldwide, including the Hong Kong Sinfonietta, Latvian Chamber Orchestra, Slovak State Philharmonic, Plano Symphony, and the Knoxville Symphony. She made her New York concerto debut in 2013 and at the Avery Fischel Hall debut in 2014. She was introduced to the violin at the age of 2 by her mother, Brigit Trevor Itashiki. She studied with the Dallin Symphony violinist Arkady Fomin, and she's just done so many things that I can't even pronounce anymore. So, the Grand Prize winner 2006 at the Land Herald competition, and in 2005 Lennox competition winner of the Cleveland Institute of Music's concerto competition. Her repertoire consists of various things, also Tchaikovsky's violin concerto, Barber violin concerto, Mendelssohn's concerto, Shostakovich No. 1. And in November, the Dallas Morning News described her as an artist supplying tonal refinement, technical facility, and natural musicality in her performance of Mozart's violin concerto No. 5. Her September 2017 performance of Glass's violin concerto No. 2 was hailed as thrilling and seamless by Arts and Culture magazine, bringing out the nuances and the drama inherent in Glass's music. She has toured Australia, I got it right, Singapore, Spain, and Mexico, and her current and upcoming engagements include North America, Philharmonia Jalapa, the Bangor Symphony Orchestra, the Midland Symphony Orchestra, the Boulder Chamber Orchestra, and the El Paso Symphony Orchestra. So, wow, welcome, Chloe Trevor, everybody, guys. How are you doing
I'm great. Thanks for meeting with me. This was a lot of fun.
Awesome. It's so much fun for me, and I'm honestly starstruck. I've been following your career on Instagram, and I've been watching your amazing videos too, and they're amazing. So last year, I watched all the live streams from the Chloe Trevor Academy. So you guys, just in case you don't know, Chloe is a huge ambassador for students' success as modern musicians. She constantly does interactive performances, master classes, lectures, and in the past year, she has created and launched her own summer camp. It's called the Chloe Trevor Music Academy, that you can go to the website chloetrevormusicacademy.org. You can become a student, apply because the deadline's coming up. If you have not chosen your summer camp yet, guys, and you're serious about your music program, you have to go there. By far one of the best programs out there today for the summer. And we are going to talk a bit more about that today, so that you get to know what exactly happens inside the program, what you can expect, and what you can really just leap with, what you can take into your life and career out of this. So Chloe, the first question is, as a concert violinist, I understand being a violinist myself too, it's a lot of work to keep up your skill, but I imagine it's even more when you're a concert violinist. So what do you do? Like, what is your normal day like when you practice or prepare for a concert, something like that?
Oh my gosh. I don't have any 2 days that are the same basically anymore, which is
right.
kind of interesting, but mostly frustrating a lot, I guess. I wear a lot of different hats, if that's not like obvious from my Instagram presence already, that I have like my soloing career and my teaching career, and then running the camp, and then running my social media accounts. It's like something is crazy different like every day. And yeah,
feels like you have a whole team there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really like doing a lot of the stuff by myself, which is really like kind of overkill. But you know, the hardest part is definitely like keeping up practicing and finding time to like learn music and keep things, you know, on the front burner instead of the back burner. You know, if I had all the time in the world, I would love to be able to just practice between like 4 to 6 hours a day and like
I totally
really
agree.
feel like I'm solid with, you know, doing scales and etudes and everything like every day and having plenty of time to work on music, but that just doesn't, you know, logistically happen, which is why I always tell students, you know, like make sure that you learn a ton of your rep and that you're really solid with your technique and everything before you go to college, because after college, you won't have time to practice in college, you won't have time to practice after college.
Yep.
And I think most students kind of have the opposite impression. They think like, oh, well, when I'm done with high school, I'll have plenty of time to practice afterwards. It's like very much the opposite. So it's tricky, you know. I try to fit in practicing pretty much anywhere that I can. Sometimes that might be getting some work done in the morning, sometimes it might be late at night, sometimes it's all afternoon, or then sometimes it's 30 minutes in the morning and an hour in the afternoon, and then maybe 2 hours at night. It just kind of depends. And then I'll have days here and there where I might not get much of anything done, and that doesn't feel very good. But
yeah, I can absolutely relate to that. I'm honestly like, today I try to squeeze in a half an hour practice between students.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of our podcast, I'm like, you know what, I should probably practice before that just so I don't feel too bad.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's really just about figuring out how to have the most efficient practice possible within those really small chunks of time, which in a way, you know, makes you really good at doing a lot in a very small amount of time, which is a good skill to have, but it is kind of stressful sometimes. But yeah, I'm going through a lot of, you know, different kind of life changes right now with my family and personal life, and trying to move and like doing all these different things. And I'm hoping that once I have things a little bit more settled, though I also know that life is just always going to be crazy.
Yes.
But I have this idea in my head that once things are more settled and I like have, you know, a place that's smaller and my own and everything's organized, then I can like really just, wake up in the morning and go for a run and come back and practice for this X amount of time and then do emails from this hour to this hour. And
yeah.
But I don't know if that'll happen or not. But that's kind of like my dream is to have my life organized that way.
Amazing. Yeah, that sounds great. I would love that too.
Yeah, right?
So who would you say were the role models, or maybe one or two that you can talk about today, who have pushed you to sort of become a concert violinist?
Well, there's a lot of different ways I could go with that answer, I suppose. I mean, my mom was obviously my first inspiration. She was a violinist in the Dallas Symphony for over 35 years, I believe. She had played in the symphony for a number of years before I was born. And so I kind of grew up with that orchestra and always had this dream. My dream when I was 5 was to play in the Dallas Symphony, like next to my mom.
Nice.
And then I got a little bit older, and then I had like bigger ambitions, and I was like, you know what? I want to be concertmaster of the Dallas Symphony. It was like my next dream, because I'd like sit at the concerts and I'd always watch the concertmaster, and I loved seeing the solos and everything, and that was really inspiring to me. But then when I was 11, like 10 or 11, I had my first real experience of playing a solo piece with orchestra. And it was with my the summer youth orchestra that I played with, the Conservatory of Music in the Mountains in Durango, Colorado, which is a summer festival that my teacher after my mom, Arkady Fomin, he started that camp. And I played Haydn G major concerto with the orchestra in the summer. And I remember, like, I very vividly remember being on stage and like looking out at the audience and just being like, this is what I want to do. I don't know why. I don't know what it was about that moment, but I will just like never forget that kind of moment where I remember very clearly feeling like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's amazing.
So my mom was obviously like really instrumental in my passion for music and everything. And then my teacher, Arkady Fomin, was he really started getting me on the path, changing my technique and teaching me about sound projection and like sound quality. And he just like, in a matter of months, I think, from when I started studying with him when I was about 9, he just like completely changed my sound and my playing, like really quickly.
That's what a great teacher can really do for you, right?
Yeah, it was really amazing. And so that, my mom and my teacher and my dad's a conductor, so obviously he also like plays a big part in this as well. All of that combined with me just listening to recordings of Hilary Hahn and Gil Shaham all the time growing up, like I listened to them just in awe, like all the time.
Yeah.
And so that kind of combination of all those people were what drove me to want to play better, want to play solos, want to play sound a certain way. I think Hilary Hahn's sound was probably the most influential for me. Like, I just really, I think for Gil Shaham is probably the musicality, and Hilary Hahn is like the sound, just like the sound, like just the quality and amazing sound that she would get.
Yeah. Oh, she's amazing. I watch her videos every time, and I'm like, I want to go practice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's amazing. Oh, well, why don't we guys listen to one of your recordings, right? So if you guys follow Chloe on YouTube, there's a beautiful video there of Halloween music, Dance Macabre with a dancer. It's so amazing. I love it. So why don't we have a listen to that track? Ready? I love how crisp it sounds. Like it's almost like not violin, but something else.
I'd be interested to hear what the something else is.
Like sort of like a mini cello, right? Like
it
It has some depth to it, yeah. Guess that's a sign of an antique quality instrument, right?
Yeah, people
And
talk
a
a lot about
performer.
people talk a lot about the G string on my violin, saying like, I wish I could get that sound.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Awesome. Wow. So, well, we'll be hearing one more track today, guys. Meanwhile, what would you say was the biggest inspiration behind your Chloe Trevor Music Academy? So, what has kind of pushed you to create the camp?
Definitely my teacher, Arkady Fomin. So like I mentioned before, he had the Conservatory Music in the Mountains Festival, which I think started in the late 70s originally. It had a different name, and it changed like a couple like locations and things, and then we ended up being in Durango, Colorado from I think like 98 forward or something, like 97, 98 forward. And he was just was just one of the biggest hearted teachers and people that I knew. He loved people, he loved kids so much, he had such a passion for teaching. He was just really giving of himself and his time, and it's just like watching him teach me and teach other kids, and then he was the conductor for our orchestra and everything, and I was just always really inspired by his passion for teaching and for music in general, and for like making it fun,
Yes.
and making people laugh and have fun, and just it was different. It was kind of a different approach, and so I grew up going to that camp every year from the age of like 7, I believe. And it was always the thing that I looked forward to most during the entire year, like the whole year. I was just like, I cannot wait for camp.
Yes.
And it was 3 weeks in July, and it was always like the best time of my life. And I had the best friends there, and got to perform and play chamber music and play an orchestra and play solos, and just like have experiences with friends, and like have just enjoy music together. And it was so inspirational to me. When I got a little bit older, I think when I was about 18 or 19, I started teaching at the camp. So I started teaching some of the younger students, and then I played in the professional part of the festival, which was just called Music in the Mountains Festival. And I started playing professional orchestra and teaching at the camp. So that was, another great thing for me to be able to like then play that role there. And I had my teacher and I had talked a couple of times about the possibility of me taking over the camp at some point, but like way in the future, this was probably when I was around 15 or 16. We talked about it a couple times.
Nice.
And some of my friends say they remember like me talking with him about this. So it was something that more people were aware of, and kind of always thought that was the right thing to happen. But unfortunately, he ended up passing away from cancer in 2014.
So sorry about that.
And it was kind of, I don't want to say it was unexpected, but it was a bit more abrupt than any of us really anticipated. And so the camp kind of got jumbled in like ownership and stuff for a while.
Right. And
so, they ended up switching over ownership, and they wanted to have all new teachers, and so suddenly I wasn't really a part of it anymore. And it was like a very distressing kind of time for me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'd always dreamed of eventually running this camp at some point, and suddenly it was like becoming very clear that wasn't going to happen. And so I was like, I've had this dream for way too long, and if this is how things are going to go, I'm just going to start my own.
Yes. Well,
because it was like, I just always knew that was something I wanted to do. And so I started putting together ideas for it. and raising money for it and everything, and never really thought that it would happen as quickly as it did. But apparently, I think largely due to my Instagram following and largely due to just general support that I have from people, from contacts and from other musicians and things, everyone was so supportive of what I was trying to do that a lot of people kind of banded together and helped make it happen within 365 days of me and wanting to do it. It was very strange. I was like, this isn't even gonna happen until like we're not gonna raise enough money for like 3 or 4 years was kind of what I was thinking, you know. And then it just kind of miraculously happened within the year.
That's amazing. Bravo.
Yeah, so you know, it really was, I mean, it was my mom and my teacher, because just watching them, my mom and Arkady, just watching them teach all the time and how much of a passion they both had for music. And then my mom actually also passed away from cancer last year.
So sorry.
So both of the two people who were like the most influential, you know, I ended up dedicating the 2 scholarship funds to them.
Yes.
So anytime someone donates, the money goes either, you know, wherever they choose for it to go, to the Arkady Fomin Academy Fund or to the Chloe Trevor Memorial Scholarship Fund. And the Arkady Scholarship Fund pays for tuition for students. And then my mom's fund, we give out scholarship money to a few select students each year. Nice. To like help them further their studies in an actual like cash prize.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
I think that's what gets people to sort of get together and help you out with this, is because they see how passionate you are about this and how you really want to make the difference in people's lives. I feel like if I studied at your academy when I came to Canada, I would probably be a better violinist by now.
I hope so. I mean, my main hope for the academy, I mean, it's multi-purpose, but I really I want to make great teaching and training available to anyone, anywhere in the world, any level, and any, you know, regardless of their financial ability. Because I know that that's one of the biggest problems for people, is that it's just money, like having money for lessons or having money to go to a camp or things like that. You know, so we try to do as much as we can with providing up to full tuition scholarships for our students. Obviously, it gets tricky with, you know, if they're from another country, then they still have to figure out travel. But I'm hoping that the money that they would have paid to the camp then goes towards travel instead, you know, if I get them enough scholarship money.
Canada's not too far away, so we can fly you all out there.
Yeah, we had a couple students from Canada last year. I don't know if we have any this year. There might be one. But yeah, we have, I think, between 14 and 17 countries represented this year. Wow. Last year we had 10, and this year we have, you know, students coming from Australia and I think England, and do we have Singapore? I don't remember if we have Singapore. I think we had Indonesia last year, Brazil, Mexico, Finland, just like all these different countries. Kids are coming to the camp because they know me from Instagram, which I think is crazy. That they're
the deadline's approaching, right? The application deadline. When is it? It's like July something?
Yeah, I mean, the deadline, you know, is flexible, but we're kind of having a hard deadline around within the next few days. So maybe like the 15th or so, you know, because we got to get our teachers printed and our programs printed and everything, and we want to be able to include everyone.
So guys, go ahead and apply. Chloe Trevor musicacademy.org. CTMA.
And it's for all string players and pianists. Just if that's not clear. So violin, viola, cello, bass, and piano. Anyone can apply from those instruments. And pretty much any age, as long as you're 12 and up. You know, we have multiple different programs. So we have the Academy program, which is for age 12 to 8. Well, it's 12 to 30 technically. And then we have our fellowship program, which is for college students. And we have an adult program. So if you're older than 18 and you don't feel like maybe you feel more like you're an amateur player, or you're not going to school for it, or it's kind of more of a hobby or something like that, then you would be, a good candidate for the adult auditor program.
That's great.
So we pretty much anyone can come, as long as you're 12 or older. So I think that's cool that we've been able to include everyone.
So would you say the camp will be growing in the next couple of years or so? It's definitely getting bigger, right?
I assume so. We last year and this year we've already been at the around 100 student mark, which for the first couple of years is pretty crazy to me. But it kind of depends. I believe next year we are relocating to California. And I think we'll have larger facilities then, so I think we'll be able to take even more students
that is
at
so
that
great.
point. And I do eventually hope for the camp to be open to all instruments so that we can play full orchestra works, full symphonic works.
Yep.
The kids are so lucky to get to work actually with my dad as conductor. His name is Chloe Trevor, and he has conducted all around the world. He is, I think, currently the most recorded conductor alive today.
Wow.
And I know that it sounds like I'm biased because he's my dad, but he really, truly is one of the most incredible musicians that I've ever known.
I've seen your live streams. I love it. I love the techniques that he's showing you guys. I feel like that's something that we similar, not as deep, but we did something similar back home when I was 7. My teachers has taught us the basics of conducting, but this is like the whole next level. I don't think anyone ever teaches conducting much in music programs. So, and I feel like that's amazing.
So they get to work with him in orchestra and then also learn conducting, like you're saying. Yes, so they're conducting classes. And I just think it would be really amazing if we could expand the program to full orchestra so that we can do Brahms symphonies and Mahler symphonies and all the others, because him getting to conduct the kids for that, it would be mind blowing, and I really want to get there, but I have to, do it carefully because I don't want to grow too big too fast and then not be able to sustain it. So we'll see.
Great, that's amazing. So what would you say would be the level of intensity, if somebody goes to the camp, what can they expect? Class after class?
They kind of will get whatever they want out of it, honestly, and what they put in. We have, I think our level this year is slightly higher than it was last year. We don't have as many beginner, lower, intermediate students. We have more intermediate, advanced to advanced students this year. So I think they're going to be pretty serious anyways. But even if you wanted to come and you weren't, you didn't want to be as intense, that's, it's possible. The schedule is busy because we do have theory classes, conducting classes, chamber music, and eurythmics.
Nice.
Not all of the eurythmics is the only one that's every day, and then in theory there's 4 classes, and conducting I think there's 4, and chamber music's every day, but you have coaching every other day. And we do 45-minute classes, so you basically have breakfast from 7 to 8, classes from 8 to 10, which can include free periods depending on what your schedule is that day, because we have different groups and things. So you might have a free period and a lesson, or you might have a free period and a coaching, or you might have chamber music and then eurythmics. It just depends. Then you have orchestra, or if you're a pianist, you have piano classes from 10 to 12, lunch from 12 to 1:30, and then 1:30 to 3:30 we do, or 1:30 to 3, we changed it this year. We do a seminar. There's either a master class happening at that time, or there is a lecture given by, sometimes I'll give social media lectures, or
nice.
We do things with the faculty about what I wish I knew before I went to music school, just kind of giving general advice, or there are a lot of different topics that we'll do from that 1.5 hour period. And then 3:30 to 5:15 are more classes. Then dinner from 5:30 to 6:30, and free period from 6:30 to 7:30, and then we have concerts or master classes in the evening, almost every evening. So it's it's a full day of stuff.
That's amazing. And but, it's only 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
I can't decide what I want to do long term. I know that I want it to be at least 3, and I can't decide if I want it to ultimately be more than that or not. I just have to see how it kind of evolves, you know?
Absolutely.
But we're already having a hard time fitting everything into 2 weeks because we have so many amazing faculty coming. You know, we have this year Sean Chen on piano, who was a Clyburn medalist, and we have Mike Block coming for cello, and he works regularly with Yo-Yo Ma and his Silk Road Ensemble and stuff. And we also have Rachel Barton Pine coming for violin. So we have these amazing artists coming to give masterclasses and recitals and lectures.
Nice.
And then the faculty that we have already, including the ALS Quartet and a bunch of my other, teacher friends from around the country, they're, playing concerts and recitals, giving classes. It's like trying to fit everything into 2 weeks is really hard.
I know. It's a lot. It's very intense.
So it is pretty packed, but we have tried this year to switch things up a little bit to give the kids slightly more free time so they don't feel like they're just being packed and almost herded from one place to the next, like it kind of was like last year. But no one complained about it. They all had a lot of fun.
Yeah, because
I just wanted to give them more of a break. So
it's exciting. You get on that, you jump on the train and you just keep going, right?
Yeah. And we have different levels of things. We have different levels of theory classes, different levels of eurythmics. So you don't have to worry about feeling like, well, I don't know enough to be able to get a lot out of this camp. It doesn't matter how much you know, because all of our teachers are giving multiple level classes, or they'll create a curriculum that fits you for your lessons or different things like that, or have different